Okay.
We are now live. I'm gonna go over to this.
I hate everybody but me.
We are now live. I'm gonna go over to this. Turning desktop off because we're probably going to get an echo because I accidentally left the volume on the YouTube video. So let me fix that. And you know, now I'm breaking everything. Okay, now.
Oh, I see him
they can hear
double.
us. Now that we're not right.
Same shirt and everything.
Oh my god.
Oh, my beard's curling. I really wanted to trim this before I started.
If you have 3D glasses, you can see the podcast on 3D.
Just cross your eyes,
Cross your
everybody.
eyes, yeah.
It's a magic puzzle.
We can quiz you,
It's
Chris.
gonna look better if I'm looking the other way, isn't it? Let me move my windows
I'm
around.
going to be looking at my left screen a lot today, just the way things are kind of set up. Do you need a link to the doc, AJ, or you kind of? There's not that much in there that you need.
I think I could wing it.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. Okay, let's do a sound test so everyone can see if we both sound good. AJ, what is your favorite star?
The one in the sky.
Just a horrible. Aren't you the one who likes Starfield? Shouldn't you know the name of a lot of stars?
I don't know. Well, I like the Horsehead Nebula. That's my favorite nebula
in that game, Mike. You don't really go anywhere.
I'm gonna tweet.
Nebulas are where stars are born.
That is true, but that is not a star. It's like saying my favorite human is that person's womb. Doesn't work. It's not a human. That's a womb.
Are you okay?
Yeah, that makes my analogy made perfect sense. Made perfect sense.
Mine is Altair.
Sorry, Chris. The Game Mess podcast can't support more than 2 people.
No, I do not have that scene ready to go.
It breaks apart. Falls apart very quickly.
Oh, you know what? That's right. I have to do. Yes, I have to get music
You gotta
open.
do the do.
No, it's forgetting something.
Don't worry about the music. I'll put the music afterward.
You sure?
Cody Owens, I just saw you're going
Yeah,
for
you
your
should
honeymoon. My wife and I did that too, and it's fun. So have a good time.
And they broke
Just
everything.
play on your stream. You don't need to try to pipe it to us.
Well,
Oh, he couldn't do that anyways.
I mean, if I was playing it on my stream, then I may as well just pipe. Oh, I wasn't gonna pipe it to you guys. No, I just need to play it. Is all.
Yeah, if you wanna
play
play
it
it,
last time.
Do it. Yeah, do it the same way.
All
I
right,
don't
yeah,
know
just
why.
give me a second.
Vanished.
Yeah, I know,
It
because
disappear.
I overlapped your window with the music folder. Should be good now. Where is this?
No, Jeff likes video. You guys is funny.
Oh no.
I saw people calling for another AJ and Sean episode, and I think they're on to something there.
That's not a
I think
bad
they're on
idea.
the money.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start
Okay.
cheering
That sounds
now.
like good content to me. I don't know.
Chat should have heard that. You guys should not have, though, and that's okay.
That's okay. Just
Yeah.
giving me a countdown. For the
Wait, I
recording.
forget if this thing hasn't built in getting quiet or if I have to do it manually.
It should have
it
built in.
I also think it was a little quiet for them.
A little quiet. Da-da-da-da. Yes. Okay. How about this, chat? You told me this is too loud now.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Or if this is
Start
just right.
cheering now.
All right. How's that, chat? Audio's good? All right. Well, let's get going. All
All right. Give me a countdown, baby.
right. 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof. Hi, I'm Mike Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm AJ Minotti, and I am a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs. Today, on October 10th, 2023, John Riccitiello resigns from Unity. Disney wants to acquire a video game company, kind of, sorta, and Animal Crossing's got some more Legos. But AJ, I was trying to think of a Ego transition there, and it never happened. But how are you doing? Whoa. I don't know. AJ, Lego my Ego, Legos. It makes sense in my head.
Sure.
Start pulling your weight around here. Help me out.
I'm phenomenal. My throat's a little sore, but other than that, I'm fine.
Help! You're the big brother. Do something. This show's bad.
Oh, so it's once again, I have to fix it.
Yeah, that's your role in life, is to make my life easier.
yeah.
That's why
I don't know.
That's why the parents made you first, and they had you prepped and of walking and talking age by the time I came around, so you could give me everything I needed.
That's the worst assumption parents can make, by the way. Oh, don't worry. The older siblings will help with the baby when it gets here.
Oh,
please, they can't help themselves.
No. Well, your kids are still pretty young. Well, they were like walking and talking, so the twins when you had your third. But that's okay. Who cares about dad stuff? I have to hear about that from Jeff. It's already boring. I'm here to talk about cool adult bachelor things like video games.
Sure.
Yeah, married people aren't allowed anymore. I've decided. But yeah, we got a few things to talk about. It's funny because we got some big games coming out, AJ, but Nintendo news still seems a smidge dry, even though the game industry itself has some bigger topics, and some of those do apply to Nintendo too. Oh yeah, Hiyu Peekaboo's right. Could you believe the tequila slander that was going on the Bombcast today?
I don't know if you saw me in the chat. I was telling people, like, yeah, you don't like tequila because when you were in college, you were doing shots of Cuervo
hey, shut up,
passing out. Like, drink the good stuff. It's like a fine liqueur. It's very good.
Penny, are you insane? The show's already terrible. Stop that. The barking's already over.
Penny's passionate about tequila.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they didn't like... Who doesn't like mezcal? It's just smoky tequila. Okay, I'm gonna...
They probably wouldn't like Lagavulin either.
No, I guess it's weird. It's I like, in my mind, I'm such a baby mouth that if I like things, like, everybody should like them. But I guess I just have a sophisticated taste for fine liquors.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Penny, here's a dog barking outside because I have the window open. This is Jeff's fault. That's why Penny's barking. Oh, there are downsides to this. I'm not even getting enough air. Like, it's cold outside, but there's no breeze.
I was gonna say, it should be cool enough now.
No, it's not. Especially because I was just cooking a giant pot of red sauce, so it's pretty warmed up in here. All right, everybody, make sure you let Jeff know that the show's going great without him. Why don't we get going to some of these topics?
Give
today.
This shit a thumbs up.
Yeah,
I just did.
Yeah, give us a thumbs up. That's right, and send super chats for give us money. Anyways, first,
listen, Mike took me out to dinner, so I need to build back up to another dinner.
I did. I took you to a nice dinner too.
It was a very nice dinner.
Yeah,
it was
nice.
Lunch, actually, but hey, whatever.
Shout out to Lindy's in Cleveland on the flats. If you like seafood, you're in the flats in Cleveland, go to Lindy's. Tell you Mike Minotti sent you. They won't know what that means.
They'll take real good care of you.
Yeah. All right. First thing here, John Riccitiello resigns from Unity. Shut up, Penny. AJ, this is pretty much fallout from Unity's bizarre, we're going to charge developers whenever their game gets installed thing, even though it was never said to be as much. He was at Unity longer than I thought, like 9 years. He was formerly of EA. He still gets a nice golden parachute. Tell me what you think while I go and close my window.
Okay. This was the inevitable outcome. There was no chance of any faith being restored in Unity unless he left. And even still, it's an uphill battle for the company. They're not out of this yet. But the whole thing is just so baffling. Again, it's one of those things where, like, anyone could have looked at this and be like, "Wow, what a bad idea! Don't do that," and they just do it. I don't understand how supposedly higher up people who've been doing this for years and know the industry can screw up so badly.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly you go from here. I wonder if it's any, like, constellation of these developers that Riccitiello did resign. Part of me wasn't sure if he was going to. And even then, it's like, I'm sure it didn't break his heart too much to resign. Like, how excited was he to be at Unity for a 10th year when it's kind of...
Well, this is what, like the third company he's ruined or something?
Right. I mean,
maybe him and, what's his name? The Stadia guy could start something together.
Who is the Stadia guy again?
Help us out, chat.
Yeah, they suck. There's a lot of these executives in gaming that don't seem to actually know what they're doing, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Man, they get away with it.
Jim Ryan should be in charge of Unity. And then John Cattell can go over to Sony. No, please, no. That'd be terrible. Hey,
Phil Harrison, that's him. Thank you.
Yeah, not related to anything. What do you think about that PlayStation 5 Slim?
I mean, it's fine. They did that thing that Jeff talks about where it's a sneaky price hike in a lot of ways. It's $50 more for the digital only version, and then the vertical stand, which is like Sony presents that as the default view of the PS5, the vertical placement. And that stand is another $30 for like a piece of plastic.
Yeah, I can't believe they're charging for the stand. That's pretty brazen.
I mean, did you see the horizontal stand that comes with it?
No.
It's just like a little plastic clip so that the part that floats off the side like is resting on something. I don't know. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, okay, like you're getting cheap on us, and that's not cool. I mean, the system itself is fine. If it was, I'd even be okay with the $50 price hike. I mean, it is more gigabytes, so whatever. But don't nickel and dime me on stuff like a vertical stand for $30. Come on, like, I mean, you redesigned the system, design it so it could just stand.
Exactly. You could design it to at least go into one of those configurations without the need for a peripheral.
Yeah, either way you put it, you need some kind of stand or a clip. That's just bad design.
But AJ, come on, this isn't a PlayStation podcast. I don't even know why you brought this up. We gotta move on here.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to this. I've never done it before.
Yeah, you're kind of an amateur. You're kind of bringing the whole show down, but we'll trudge along here. Bloomberg had reported that Disney CEO's deputies, we're talking about Bob Iger, were pushing for him to get Disney bigger into gaming by doing a big acquisition. Perhaps EA, but Iger seems non-committal about this. You know, this I almost can't remember if this was a rumor before or just people sort of making leaps of logic that kind of made sense. Disney's been working with EA a good bit, especially, on the Star Wars stuff. They've had some successes there. There aren't that many companies of EA size that are out and available and aren't kind of circling the toilet bowl. So Disney was going to get somebody. And EA does make some sense. Now, I think Disney's in a position where I can't imagine, I think Iger's feeling the same way. Maybe acquisitions of all kinds just seem unattractive. The Fox acquisition, probably a mistake. It looks like now they paid a lot of money basically to get like the rights to some superheroes at a time when superheroes are really circling the drain, and the rights to a bunch of movies, properties that don't really integrate with the Disney brand very well.
Except Avatar.
We're glad to have Avatar, absolutely. But it's not like they try to make their Home Alone. Like, okay, cool. They're not like they're going to do anything with Die Hard or Alien. I don't know. But I don't know. What do you think about this? You think there's a chance Disney buys EA? Should they buy EA?
No, I think for one thing, Disney's a little risk adverse right now because of things like the Fox acquisition. Some struggles with the parks as far as attendance goes, and a lot of these Marvel things not doing so hot. I think licensing is easier and less risky for them, so they'll probably just continue that. There's no harm in it. They don't have to put up a lot of money. They, in fact, get paid a licensing fee every time someone makes a Star Wars or a Marvel game for them. That's how you get Spider-Man 2 in a week. They weren't going to put the time and resources into making that, so let Sony do it. And it's not like they want for content. Disney Plus has a ton of stuff on it. That's not the issue. It's a quality.
Well,
thing.
I guess the idea there
where they put up the money to put out like a quality AAA release that's going to take 5 to 6 years to develop. Probably.
I guess the idea is diversifying. Whereas, the Fox merger was about content. Because we just need content for Disney Plus. Maybe that helped a little bit. Maybe it didn't. You get a whole gaming sector. Well, now you're making video game money in a real way. And we've seen Disney be hot and cold on games a lot. They have these high tides with things like Epic Mickey, Disney Infinity, then they retreat, and then they kind of come back in. It feels like we're in something of a middle-ish tide at the moment. But yeah, Iger seems like, as ridiculous as I think it is, I think he's more likely to want to sell Disney to maybe the only person who could buy it, Apple. I don't think that could happen.
No, I don't think that's good because that's not what Apple does. Like, why would they want to get into all these businesses?
I don't think the FTC, for as much grief as they gave Microsoft, I think they would give Disney so much grief to go on a 20-year spending spree, and then as soon as things go bad, just look for a buyer themselves. But I think they'll also do the same if Disney wants to buy EA. I think they'll say, man, you guys bought a lot of things, and then it didn't help anyways. Why now you're going to buy this other giant company? It's hard to see that being easy.
I saw some headlines too that were saying how apparently Disney was in worse shape than Iger expected when he came back, and he really is just like kind of exhausted right now trying to fix it as much as he can.
Well, yeah, I think he thought that he was just going to come back and like just his essence, his
his
aura was going to make everything okay. But there are so many problems from just the way the parks were set up, fallout from the strike, a lot of that, his fallout from some of that weird government stuff in Florida. I don't think he's having a fun time. I don't think his second tenure is nearly as good as his first tenure. I bet he's even maybe regretting it because it's sort of staining his legacy a bit. Well, I mean, what he's supposed to be doing is finding a successor, and the problem is that Disney is almost too big for a single person to understand, except for a Bob Iger who had been at that company forever as it grew into this giant. There's nobody really around who can do that anymore. The smart thing is to start selling off some of the less necessary parts of the company that make it complex, like ESPN. Disney doesn't really need to own ESPN, and it's this other problem point. Like, hey, you're going to be CEO of Disney, so I hope you know a lot about movies, cartoons, theme parks, and oh, by the way, also sports. Be an expert in that, right? Same thing with ABC. Do they really need to be in network broadcasting anymore? Probably not. All right, that's our little Disney rant here. Next thing, Animal Crossing Legos are releasing on March 1st, 2024. These will include Nook's Cranny and Rosie's House as one package, Isabel's House Visit, Captain's Island Boat Tour, Bunny's Outdoor Activities, and Julian's Birthday Party. These are kind of various sizes and price tiers. The Nooks and Isabel sets are kind of the more bigger, expensive ones. And then as the other ones, some of them are more like those little miniature sets, where you're not really building much. You're almost building like a tree and like a hut, and you get 2 minifigs with it. But hey, I don't know if does this do much for you, AJ?
No, I have too many Lego sets I haven't built yet, so I could see my daughter Liv being into this potentially. She likes Animal Crossing, she likes Lego. And I'm sure there are plenty of Animal Crossing / Lego fans who are excited about this, but I think I'm kind of famously like I can't get into Animal Crossing. I really tried. With the last one, I played for like a few weeks because it was the pandemic. We were all playing it, and I was like, "This is just, I don't know. I find it kind of boring." I don't know.
You hate cozy games even more than I do.
I might, Mike. Actually, even Stardew Valley. When I tried that, and everyone's going on and on about it, I'm like, I don't know.
You even like
Stardew Valley. Clicking on them, like,
wow, yeah.
I'm talking to these people. They're fine, but I don't know. Like, there's no challenge. It's just
to be clear, Stardew Valley
tasks.
Stardew Valley not nearly as good as Starfield for you.
No, not at all.
All right.
Not at all.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I'll say this. I think the Animal Crossing characters translate to minifigs much better than Mario does. Mario and Sonic, I do not like the way that those characters look as Lego people, especially Sonic.
So much.
No,
Sonic,
that Sonic Lego minifig is a freak. I do not like it. It upsets me. Looks real weird to me. It's not good. But I said before, but with Legos, I want vehicles or buildings. That's why Star Wars has always been good. Those are always pretty relatively easy to do. I don't even like the bigger sets that it's just a person, like that big Bowser. No, I don't know. Like a big Lego Bowser just doesn't look right to me. Buildings always translate pretty well. Or ships. Give me Samus's ship from Super Metroid. I'll build the hell of that. Cool. Or the with the Great Fox. The Great Fox. Think bigger, edge guy. Bigger. Final Destination. Just give me Final Destination. And Andros would be pretty good, actually. Yeah. So, but this is interesting because this is kind of like the next big one to go into after the Mario adjacent sets. We'll see if we get more. Hopefully, we get Zelda at some point because there's some buildings there.
Zelda seems like a lock. We'll
get
like Hyrule Castle. Maybe we'll get whatchamacallit, the Guardians.
Oh yeah, those things. You see, there was like somebody at Nintendo was asked like, "Hey, how come all the Sheikah tech just disappeared after?"
It
He's like,
wasn't needed anymore.
Yeah,
Mike.
he's
It's done.
he basically was like, it just did. Stop asking.
It's like the Army of the Dead. They fulfilled their oath and they went away.
Yes, it is just like that. All right, last thing here. Super Mario Brothers Wonder demo is playable at select Best Buy, GameStop, Target, and Walmart locations. I already played this demo.
Yeah, you already played it, Mr. Hotshot.
So what do I even care?
Wait, it's out in 10 days. I pre-ordered it with my second half of my Nintendo voucher. I am ready to go.
What did you use that first half of your voucher for?
Zelda.
Oh, I can. Okay, yeah, I can publicly shame you here, Mister. How much Tears of the Kingdom did you play?
A good chunk.
It was, how many temples did you beat?
I've publicly gone on record. I dropped off it because I was playing a lot of Diablo 4, and in hindsight, I kind of regret how much time I put into Diablo 4.
Zelda's still there, Jay. It's not too late.
I know. Yeah, but then Final Fantasy came out,
Yeah.
and then Baldur's Gate came out, and then
You didn't even
Starfield
play
came
Resident Evil
out.
4. You're a Spanish chef. What is with you people?
I've played it.
If you tell me you played it in 2004, I'm going to drive over to your house and punch you in the face.
I played it when it was brand new, but then Star Wars Jedi Survivor came
Oh
out.
no, Jedi Survivor. I was thinking that is one of the games that I'm just probably not going to catch up on. It's weird how I don't feel bad about it because I loved Jedi Fallen Order. More than most people. I think Jeff and I were both kind of Fallen Order defenders a little bit. And
it was my game of the year that year, and I like Survivor too. But then Zelda came out.
Yeah, Survivor this is kind of a rough year for Survivor. I mean, I'm sure it did really well, but just for me, it was a rough year for Survivor. But yeah, this demo's. I mean, if you were at a store and you saw the demo, you would play it.
Oh, sure, I'll go play it. I'm not gonna drive to Target just to play Mario Wonder.
Are your kids aware that a new Mario's coming out and are they excited?
Yeah, remember they told you that it's a new voice actor for Mario.
That's right, they did tell me. Then I told them that I played already, and they thought that was neat for 1 second, but then they told me something about themselves again. Kids. They're so selfish and egomaniacal. Anyways, let's continue back to Mike Minotti's last of the Nintendogs, special guest AJ. It does make me nostalgic because I don't even know does our Target even have a demo kiosk anymore?
Yeah, it does.
It does? That shocks me.
It's in the back.
Yeah, it's in the back. Those used to be a big deal they would have multiple demo kiosks for all the systems, and I remember the GameCube demo kiosk at the Target playing Thousand Year Door on that, oddly enough, and just. The one I think of a lot is the Software Etc., which got bought by GameStop later. They had some early Dreamcast kiosks. I don't even know it was a kiosk. I think they just kind of had a Dreamcast.
No, that was Funko Land. We played the Dreamcast.
Oh, it was Sega Rally, and it was just seeing that game at that smooth frame rate. I almost said 60 FPS, and Sean's gonna come and think, actually, it was at 30 variable, so I'll spare myself that.
I can remember the Software Etc. had a Mario 64 kiosk. And it had a timer built into it, so every 5 minutes it would reset the game, and Mario would come up and thank you for playing Mario 64. Who's next?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I appreciate because remember we were waiting to play Sonic Adventure, and that kid wouldn't stop.
Oh yeah. Oh, I remember when the Software Etc. for real this time had the Wind Waker demo. I think we knew that the Wind Waker demo was out in the wild, so we actually just went to the Software Etc. so that we could play it. Good times. I miss the kiosk demos. All right, so there is that. Why don't we take a short break? We'll come back. We will read some super chats. How's that sound? Oh, look, Jeff Grubb's in the chat. Why don't you go tweet some more? Go down your slide.
Yeah, go down your slide.
You have to tell Chris, by the way.
Stuck.
The other brother, Chris, he's asking about where this cabin is because he's intrigued about the slide. For his kids, not for him. Well, he probably wants to go down it too.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back, everyone.
Okay.
All righty. Ready to go get back to it, AJ?
Yep.
Open up the super chats here. Get on my glasses. Okay. Look at that.
Grubb says he will like it.
Okay. All right, you ready for me to get back in,
right.
Christian?
I am ready.
All right, we are back. Let's read some super chats, Jack. Punish Big Jimbo Ryans. That's his name. I'm punished. Says some words for John. Lol, rip, LMAO, pinchy maman. I don't know what those last two mean.
But
Don't worry
It's
about
good
it.
advice.
Don't worry about it. Ariel Delgado says it's their first episode. Relax. Hi, Mitch and AJ. That's right, Ariel. We're here.
Hello, it's me.
Amarico says, Orange, you glad to be here, folks. Hey, it's more of a red.
Banana.
Yeah. Oh, Greg says, Jeff finally shaved his head.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those jokes that Jeff lost another bet. Had to
Idiot.
shave it all.
Idiot Box says, even in my late 30s, I'm still scared of my older sisters. One even bullied me into giving her my NES Mini. Oh, man. I'm glad I don't have...
See, Mike, you have all the consoles now. I gave you everything. You've got the Sega /CD/32X. You have the Dreamcast. You got the Saturn.
Yep, I'm keeping them all safe. Yeah, maybe I'm glad I don't have sisters. Maybe they would have been mean and bullied me, too. That would have been rough. Yeah, I got everything. There should be another Dreamcast around somewhere because at some point.
No, we only had the one.
No, because I think when they were, remember they got real cheap at the end. I think I did just get my own at that point.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Because they were like
that one I gave you is our original $99.99 console.
They were like $50 or something at one point, maybe 80, but it was not much to get it. It was very pathetic for how good that system was and how strong a release it had. Like, biggest video game system launch ever. Then in 2 years, it was like, never mind, we're just going to shut it all down.
Whoops-a-daisy.
Booty Bandit says, hello, gents. What is your favorite video game soundtrack composed by the legendary Kirk Wise? Mine is Banjo Kong Country 2 Kingdom Battle. Thanks.
Mike, you were thinking Kirk Wise, co-director of Beauty and the Beast, I think.
Yeah, well, I got that mixed up with, because his name, Kirk...
Gary Wise?
There's Grant Kirkhope and Gary Wise. So those two names, and then Kirk Wise, who's actually a person. It was no good for me. It was a bad time. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about no double jeopardy. Burrito says, Armand, AJ Minotti Jr., successful adult, and Michael Tolkien Miyamoto Minotti, semi-successful teenager.
Okay, two things. First of all, how dare you reveal my secrets without my permission?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How dare you?
That's right. Yeah, it's funny. Like, you say things about me all the time on this show when I have to go get a drink.
That's just cheeky and fun.
Yeah.
But I will point out to everybody that I am the one with the master's degree. And guess which Minotti makes more money? So I'll just leave that to your imagination.
Got no kids to throw it at.
Here's a clue. I work for the state at a university.
Yeah. Send more super chats, by the way.
Please.
Connell Wood says, no blathers, no buy. It is actually messed up they don't have the museum. That was by far my favorite part of New Horizons.
But then it's just a dinosaur Lego set at that point, right?
I mean, the museum has a specific outdoor appearance. I mean, you get a blathers. I don't know. I like the way that museum looks. Look, I just want to build a museum. Well, I mean, look, the house is just a house, right? They're all just buildings at the end of the day. Here's Chris, not our Chris, who says, do you all think Nintendo hasn't put Wind Waker on Switch yet because they feel like they need to add or improve something? It says it's already perfect. They can't. No, I don't think that's the problem. I don't think they'd be that concerned about just throwing it on there.
It's just the spite, Mike.
Yes, just to spite me and Jeff. No, I think there is some kind of timing thing that they have planned out where they know Tears of the Kingdom is coming out now, and that maybe there's going to be a bit of a drought before we're going to have the next Zelda game, whatever that's going to be. Even maybe another remake or something. So maybe it just made sense for them to hold off on Wind Waker and Twilight Princess until a post Tears of the Kingdom, post-launch of the Switch 2 world even. I mean, let's say that's a pretty easy thing if you want to get the Switch 2 off to a strong start, right? I mean, I'm not saying for Wind Waker. I'm saying for launch, although wouldn't that make some sense? Hey, look, here's a Wind Waker also for the launch of the Switch 2. Why not? Mike O'Leary says, you boys have any interest in doing D23 next year? Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah, I have interest.
All these D23s kind of feels like they started up right when you and Chris were getting married and having babies and stuff. So it's hard for all three of us to go to these things. Even smaller than that, the Retro WDW podcast does, it's I guess kind of smaller but really intimate and cool event called Retro Magic at the parks, and they bring in a lot of cool guests. It'd be fun to do that too, but yeah, it's just with the kids are still pretty young. I think maybe a couple years we'll get to a point. I don't know.
Where tell all your friends about 90s Disney, and then we could justify it as a business trip.
Yeah, there you go. Making an expense. But D23 would be fun. They do a lot of cool things. They have a lot of exhibits and whatnot. I want to see just how freaky the Disney adults get too. Like if they get like, because like you go to Comic-Con, there's some freaks, right? I wonder if the Disney people are going to be like freaks. Willow Davis says, what's your favorite game console that has a handle? All right. Let's see if you can be cheeky, AJ, and say anything that's not the GameCube. Does anything else have a handle?
No.
No. I think
It's the GameCube.
It's the GameCube. More should have a handle.
I
But
guess the GameCube wins by default.
the best kind of winning. And then Chrono Rick says, hey, dogs, what's your favorite Switch Direct era reaction? Mine will always be Jeff almost dying from the Chris Pratt Mario voice announcement, lol, and Sora. I like watching the... Oh, go ahead, AJ.
I wish you all could have been in the room when Mega Man was announced for Smash.
I did.
It was the most hyped I've ever seen a human being in my life.
I freaked out. I mean, I think people who listen to the show know I like Mega Man, I like Smash Brothers, and I did not think Mega Man was going to be... That was Smash 4. That was like the first new character they announced, the first guest character. I didn't think we were on Mega Man already. I thought I was going to have to wait a while before I started. And it was such a good trailer. Like, he's immediately fighting Mario and Link. Seeing, like, Link have to deflect a Mega Man 2 metal blade with his shield. I mean, come on. That was just absolute heaven. Like, that's still the best looking Mega Man ever, by the way, is Smash Brothers Mega Man.
That's such a good design.
Right? Like, all the other, like, whenever they try to depict that Mega Man in a lot of other official art, they kind of make it slender for some reason, like tiny waist.
Yeah, they're afraid, like, of the chunkiness.
Yeah, I want him to look like a chunky, like, kid robot guy. Like, that's good.
He's a chunky boy.
Like Astro Boy. He's look like, or Astro Boy, I mean. You could look like Astro Bot, too. But yeah, Astro Boy. That kind of a thing. So... but yeah, that was a good day. But no, there was the video from the Nintendo store. Those are always good for the Smash reveals. But for some reason, the one when they did Banjo-Kazooie, I really like that. Because it's great, because it starts in, like, they have that puzzle piece go by very early. So, like, everyone kind of knows, and they start freaking out then. And then they do the cute fake out, but everyone was really sure. But then, like, when you get that actual reveal of Banjo-Kazooie, it really is like, oh, wow, they actually did get that to happen. Yeah, that, I don't know. Those are kind of feel-good ones. I haven't seen the Sora one for a while. That was wild. I kind of forget that happens sometimes. They really did put Sora in Smash Brothers.
I was rewatching the Nintendo World Store when it was the Smash Ultimate trailer when it gets to, like, the part where Snake is revealed, because I had the same reaction watching it myself in my car. I remember thinking, like, wait a minute, no, and that's when it pops up. Everyone's here, and I was like, they're doing it. The Madmen are doing it.
The first day of Smash Ultimate announcements, I think, was so good for me, because I think, like, immediately, because, like, at that point, two of my big ones that we hadn't had yet were Simon Belmont and Ridley. Like, those were knocked out immediately. I was like, that's great. And then we had the everyone is here thing, so I freaked out. Smash Ultimate is a very good video game.
It's a good video game,
I love it. All right, here. And then from Tyler James Bay, NXT gets Cena, AW gets Edge, and the dogs get AJ. That's
right. That's right.
I wonder how that's going, but I think that's happening as we're recording this. The Tuesday Night War with AEW on tonight and NXT.
He's just going by Adam Copeland now, right?
Yeah, he's Adam Copeland there. But so yeah, I don't know if you're not super tuned into wrestling, but they're both trying to stack their shows tonight because they are going up against each other for the first time in a while. So yeah, Cena actually is on NXT today, and yeah, Adam Copeland's on AEW, things like that. So they're all going bonkers over there. All right. Why don't we start doing our topic right now for the week, AJ? Right. Not too long ago, multiple times I tried to do the Switch hidden gem topic, even though it wasn't time for that topic, so it became a bit of a meme. But since we got on that train, I thought it'd be fun to continue it. Let's go through some consoles maybe and talk about hidden gems for them. We're starting with the NES. Hidden gem, AJ, that could kind of be like a tall order. There aren't very many hidden games for big consoles like the NES. But
you'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised.
Some games have been lost to time in some ways.
A little bit. Underrated might be the better word for some of these. Because, look, I don't want to, whatever people say and what you say, well, I know about it. Sure. Of course, people are going to know about it. But there are games that aren't your Castlevanias, your Mega Mans, or Ninja Gaidens, or Marios. So and AJ, that's where we started, right? Was NES. I'm always really glad that was right when we grew up, was when gaming was, I don't know. I can never tell.
Reborn.
Yeah, I can never tell if that's just my take on it because, of course, I was born with it. But to me, it feels like the modern gaming scene kind of traces its roots back to NES, and of course Atari was before that. But there's a direct lineage from NES to today, more so than there is from Atari to today. So it was fun growing up with the NES. We had a good amount of games. I'm curious if like your hidden gem is a game we actually owned or not.
It is. Well, so I have two. One, my actual answer, someone actually said in the chat. So I'll point that out when we get to it. I don't want to double dip. But the other one I have is also one that we owned and played a lot of. Should I say it now?
Yes. Go ahead.
All right, Mike. Do you remember Jackie Chan's Action Kung Fu?
Yeah, that game ruled.
That game is great.
Now was that one? Because so our grandma had an NES just like when we came around to play, and some of the games kind of lived at her place, like Bubble Bobble, which I played a ton of, but it was there. I think the Jackie Chan game hers. Was that where we played that one? I think that's right.
That's where we mostly played it. I think it was probably our copy, and we just took it there and kept it there. But if you've never played this game, it's not based off of a film property. It's just a game starring Jackie Chan. They licensed his likeness, such as it is as an 8-bit sprite. And it was really cool. It was just a side-scroller kind of beat-em-up sort of thing. You had a basic move set, but then there were these frogs that you'd hit, and they'd barf up like a power-up, and you'd get like a limited use of a certain kung fu move, like a forward barrel roll or an upward kick. You had like 5 like Hadoukens you could shoot out basically, and enemies would drop orbs. When you got so many, it would refill your life and your ranged attacks, and it was really good. It was a good game. It was like nice big chunky sprites.
Big sprites,
which is always nice.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Yeah, very good looking NES game. It had some good music. But just kind of like, it just felt good to control. It was pretty responsive and fast paced. It had some it did that thing that a lot of NES games did where you can have these giant bosses because it's actually just the background sprite layer with some hitboxes, right? Kind of a thing. But yeah, I remember that one. I actually liked that one a lot. I think I watched somebody talking about it not too long ago. I forget what the context was, but yeah, I always think fondly on that one.
How about you, Mike?
So everyone knows Cool Spot on like Genesis and Super Nintendo, surprisingly good game. But on the NES, we had a game that was just called Spot. It also stars the 7-Up mascot. I didn't know what an Othello was back then, AJ.
It's just Othello.
It's just Othello, and there's an Othello for the NES. But this game, the little kind of discs look like Spot, and when you sort of overtook the other discs, this is kind of like I don't know what you call it, like a board game almost. Well, there's really good, fun spot animations whenever you move to them.
Yeah, so you'd like stomp the board and the pieces would fall down and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I kind of have a soft spot. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. I've got a soft spot for Spot. Oh, yeah, we did it. Oh, that's fantastic.
All right, good night, everybody.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. So, but yeah, I don't know. Spot, I haven't played forever. We always had fun. It was also relatively simple. Like, we always got it. I think that's another one. Lived at grandma's house, actually.
It did.
Yeah, we would play that at grandma. We played like that Bubble Bobble and that Jackie Chan game. I feel like she probably also had a copy of Mario. Yeah. We're cheating for sure.
Yep. All right, let's get into the community submissions.
All right, let's do a few of these before we take. Let's do a few of these. We'll take a break probably halfway between.
You say when. It's your show after.
All right, yeah, that is true.
All right, Crangus McBasketball says, obviously, Fester's Quest. Everyone had Fester's Quest. Did that come with Nintendo's?
It must have been one of the best-selling NES games. I think it was just severely discounted all the time at like grocery store aisles, like at bins.
Everyone played that game.
Everyone had it. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why everyone did, but we had it like very early on in the NES days. It's funny because it's Sunsoft, which made a lot of good NES games. This isn't even really one of their better ones. It's kind of a weird game.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's kind of a little frustrating. I never liked any of those NES games that did like the faux first-person dungeon crawling thing. I always just kind of got confused by that, because every wall and hallway looks the same. But hey, it had good music because it was Sunsoft, and Addams Family was sort of still quite of a thing back then. All this stuff when we were kids, everything that was popular in the 60s was still just relevant for some reason in the 80s and 90s.
Like Flintstones and stuff like that.
This is why I'm still dreaming about the freaking Flintstones, because like they were still making a ton of Flintstones shit. There's Flintstones video games, and God, what I think the first computer game we had was just probably Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune, but there was also this bad computer Flintstones game we had. Remember that?
Remember every time you die, like a screen came up, just said, watch out for those.
Yeah, man, I gotta find some info about this weird MS-DOS Flintstones game. It was in black and white, and now I do sound ancient. Shit, it was in like black and white. The screen wouldn't scroll because, the computers couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. The funny thing is that there actually are good Flintstones games for the NES, and they're pretty rare now. I think
really?
one, if not both of them, were pretty late NES games. So yeah, they're very rare, but also pretty good. Those are probably hidden gems, actually. Those Flintstone games. I forget their names,
We'll
but
have to try them. I'll
yeah.
put them in my pocket.
There you go.
All right. Next up, Doom Animal Crossing. He's digging deep.
Okay.
And he says Super Mario Brothers is pretty underrated. Don't hear that one get brought up a lot.
I don't remember that one.
I've never heard of it. Must have missed that one. Uncharted Wolf 5 says, listen, guys, I love old games, but the NES is where you lose me, man. 95% of those games have not aged well at all, in my opinion.
Oh, no.
Mega Man games are awesome, though, especially Mega Man 6 is a hidden gem. Strangely, no one talks about despite being the best NES Mega Man games. Sorry, Mike. Now, listen, there are plenty of good NES games. Let's not get too crazy here.
Yeah, but the Mega Man games I think the Mega Man games have actually aged the best. I think you might be right there.
like those, the Mario games and
right.
A lot of Capcom games are probably the ones that have aged the best outside of Nintendo.
Mega Man 6 is super fun. I say this about all the Mega Man games that aren't two or three that get most of the love. If there was only one Mega Man game on the NES and it was Mega Man 6 and it was just called Mega Man, we would all be like, obviously that's like one of the top 5 best NES games. Right. Yeah, but because it's Mega Man 6 and it was just at that point we expected Mega Man to be good to a certain point. I think Mega Man 6 even came out after Mega Man X, so yeah, it was kind of a weird time. People just weren't very hype, I guess is the word. But Mega Man 6 does have a lot going for it. The rush suits are a lot of fun. Even the bosses, I kind of like. I kind of like the sort of World Warrior approach to the bosses in that one.
Yeah.
Next.
All right, Dr. Ryan says, my sister and I play Trog all the time. Weird competitive 2-player caveman Pac-Man style game. I don't remember this one.
Trog for the NES. Interesting.
This weird one-eyed caveman looking.
I kind of recognize the box art actually, but competitive Pac-Man. That is interesting. I don't know much about this one, huh?
I'll have to check it out.
There are a lot of NES games. How many are there? I'm going to find that out while you read the next.
Yeah, find the number. Zelda Blowout. While the original version was released on the Commodore 64, Silent Service was a simulation submarine game that had an awesome port on the NES. As a kid, I spent hours shooting torpedoes and watching them hit ships through a periscope. We need more submarine combat games. This sounds familiar. I might have played this somewhere, like at a friend's house.
Yeah, I don't personally, I don't know. I can't think of it too much. But by the way, there are 678 licensed NES games in North America. Well, I guess, is that it? I guess that's a lot when you think about it.
No, that was sarcastic.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of games.
Right. Well, my house, that's only like 3 times as much as the Nintendo 64.
All right, Adam GC says, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes and Castellian, that's it, are both games I remember playing a lot of because my family owned them, and that's about the only reason. Both have pretty great music, though. Never played either.
No, Castellian looks interesting. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I just remember that because I think some actor from it was on like one of those early Bachelor style shows where you got to marry a movie star, and it turned out to be the guy from fucking Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah, movie star.
Yeah, so but oh man, okay, so Castellian was also known as Nebulous. It's had some other names. Okay, interesting.
Okay. Beefhammer says, giving some love to Mother 1. I actually like it more than the NES Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest games. It's essentially a proto-Earthbound, though, so not really necessary to play unless you're 2 so-called Nintendo fans who haven't played Earthbound. Hey, listen.
Hey, I played Earthbound. I said,
back off. Yeah, I've fired it up.
Yeah, I always kind of wonder about Mother because, I mean, for as much as people go on and on about Earthbound and Mother 3, it seems like Mother only gets, polite applause, right? So I wonder, it can't be very long. And I kind of like 8-bit RPGs. I played through a few of them, all the Final Fantasies and Dragon Quest 3 at least. So maybe someday I'll give that a shot. I think it's just on NSO. Like you can play it like nothing. So it's there.
That's true.
All right. Next.
All right. Casual says, a good time is had with this strange platformer. He's referring to Euphoria. You ever play this?
Euphoria? I don't think so.
There's like a little underwater frog dude and a guy with a hat and a fish. I have no idea.
But not like the when you say that, it remind me of those edutainment games for the PC with the guy with a snorkel, and then he was like climbing. He's like a mountain hiker on another one.
Treasure Cove.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So okay. I know. I'm looking at this is another Sunsoft joint. Yeah, this looks like them basically trying to make a Mario kind of game almost. Like has a bit of that aesthetically. Just looking at some screenshots of it, looks nice though.
All right, this one I've heard of. I've never played it. This is from Velocity Prime 1. Dear Dogs, why are you making me do research for your show now? I'm losing it here. Anyway, my NES hidden gem is Little Samson, a really excellent Mega Man alike with great art and a banging soundtrack. You ever played Little Samson?
No, but I've heard this. I've heard good things about it. I heard it is a lot like a Mega Man, so I'm pretty sure I would absolutely like it. Definitely something I need to check out. Man, like, why isn't a game like this? Like, come on, I put this on NSO, right?
Yeah, we need Quest for Camelot, Mike.
Freaking, this is freaking Taito. Yeah, Quest for Camelot for Game Boy Color is still just.
My daughter asked me, she goes, Dad, what's this game? I said, it's a long story.
Right. Okay, so this was another late NES one. If I recall, I believe that this game is stupid expensive. Let me look it up right now. Whoa! What do you think the complete price is? So box, not sealed, not new, just box and everything.
$5.95.
$5.95. Would you believe $4,150? Yes.
No.
Yeah,
why?
Look, that's why I knew. That's why I knew I heard of this game. This game is known. But I think like to that point though, I think this game's largely known for being expensive, but it is also supposed to be a good game. So hey, just go get a ROM. It's freaking NES.
I'll put the ROM on my analog pocket and play it perfectly. Thank you.
Adam is right. That's 8 cubivores. Wow.
That's 8 cubivores. Hosp says, poking around the NES app, Shadow of the Ninja was surprisingly good. Great music too.
Yeah,
I played that one.
I like Shadow of the Ninja. It's it is what you would think. You think it'd be a little bit like a Ninja Gaiden, and turns out it is, but in a pretty entertaining way. It's good.
Mr. Bowler says, before they became a household name, Rare made Snake Rattle and Roll, a really graphically impressive isometric platformer for the NES. And of course, the highlight is good music from the man himself, David Wise.
Yeah, I've seen a lot more of this game in recent years. I think Rare Replay was where I first got to play it, and I've seen some kind of videos about since then. And it is something of that's why Rare kind of caught the attention of Nintendo, was that they were very good on the NES. Just think about Battletoads and things like that. Like, they made NES games that looked amazing. Were you ever thrown off by the isometric NES games? Because there were quite a few of them.
No,
because
we had Marble Madness pretty early on.
Yeah, that's true.
That just trained us for it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. We were kind of set up for that one, at least. All right, what's
next?
Just
don't tell him Mark Cerny.
No, please don't. He'll yell at us.
All right, Soji Koto says, Super Dodgeball. To me, it always felt like Technos Japan was better known for their Double Dragon series and River City Ransom in the late 80s, early 90s. And due to that, Super Dodgeball always felt a bit underrated at the time comparatively. We had this.
We did?
Yeah, you don't remember this?
I have no memory of us owning Super Dodgeball.
Oh, yeah. You'll know it because it's the same sprites as River City Ransom.
No, I know what Super Dodgeball is. It's a Kunio-kun game. I just didn't remember us owning it.
Oh, yeah.
You sure you didn't play it at a friend's house?
100%, because I never actually knew what River City Ransom was. And then when that game became popular again, like 10 years ago, I was like, isn't that dodgeball game we had for the Nintendo? I was very confused.
Because I kind of remember, we probably didn't, I don't know how many NES games we had, right?
No, because remember the final battle was you played your shadows.
No, I don't, AJ. I really don't remember.
Wow.
Look, I'm not calling you a liar. I wonder, because I remember a lot of the weird games we had. We had that something design surf game or whatever that was with the gorilla surfing,
Yeah, that was I almost looked that one up before I remembered the Jackie Chan game.
Yeah, Okay, AJ, why don't we take a quick break while I rack my memory banks to see. I don't think we own Super Dodgeball. I wish we did. Maybe we did. TNC Surf Design. Thank you, Matt Rare Monkey. All right, We'll be right back, everybody.
Awesome.
We owned Super. Really?
Good job.
Yeah.
We can just walk back into it.
Okay.
Just walk, just mosey.
Let's walk this way. All right. you're ready, we can just jump right back to it.
Okay.
We need one more break, still, Christian, before the show's over.
After you're finished with this section, with this.
Okay.
Okay.
Well.
Okay, right.
Yep. And we are back. AJ, I am holding so many hidden gems. I don't know what to do. I hope you don't have any more.
Don't drop them.
Oh no.
Oh, we got plenty more, and you can also super chat in yours if you want to, and we'll read them.
That's
so,
true.
So make Mike drop all these gems, and
No.
I'll be like, oh no, my gem. It'll be like those infomercials where it's like, oh no, I can't query these 3 things at once. Whatever will I do?
Yeah.
All right, Octo says, shout out to Little Samson, which has already been mentioned. It's a really cool super late NES game from 92 with incredibly smooth animation and controls. This might be the best playing game on NES and one of the most impressive graphically. Mike, you really need to try this one. It's going to knock your socks off the instant you start playing it. The feel is amazing.
Yeah, I would
Also,
like it.
the Japan-only Kid Dracula is neat, aka Akumashu Special Baku Dracula-kun. A lot of neat Japan-only stuff, as always.
There is a Kid Dracula game on Game Boy that I think was in that one of the Castlevania collections. So I played some of that, and it was fun. There's a lot of good late NES games that a lot of people didn't play because a lot of people have moved on to Super Nintendo. Like, DuckTales, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers get a lot of love, but DuckTales 2 and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers 2 also very good. And you can play those. You can play those on the Disney Afternoon collection. Like DuckTales 2.
Still not on the Switch.
Yeah, right. John Drake, come on. DuckTales 2 probably not as good as DuckTales 1 just because of the soundtrack alone, but Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, that soundtrack actually got a big upgrade for the sequel. That soundtrack, that's actually the most underrated NES soundtrack to me is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers 2. There's a song from it I really like. I can never remember the name because like the titles for the tracks in that game are like 4-2. They don't They don't have titles.
No names.
But one of them is very good. I'll find it at some point. All right, AJ, next.
All right, Axolotl Adams says the best NES games are the ones you could play in Animal Crossing on the GameCube because that was kind of neat, and I'm sad they stopped doing it in the sequels.
Yeah, that was neat. That is always that was the first Animal Crossing. That was like my favorite thing about that game was that you could do that. Right? No, can't do that anymore. Because now you have to freaking pay for your NSO subscription. Oh, AJ, we got the super chat. I want to read it right now.
Yeah, go. You want to do it now?
We had this game. Mikey O'Leary said, I said it in a regular chat, but now it's super. Captain Skyhawk was a really fun scrolling shooter. Look up the box killer art.
That was my submission for the best NES box art when you guys did that.
That's right. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we loved Captain Skyhawk. That game ruled.
Yeah, it was fun.
We had that.
I get the box art of this mixed up with the box art for the Top Gun NES game for some reason. It's just a guy in a helmet. I'm like, that's probably the same thing, right?
Right, more or less. All right, Fork says the mysterious Mara-sama Castle. It's a very fast-paced action game that smartly adjusts your weapon based on your positioning to an enemy. If you are far away, you'll throw a shuriken, and if you are close, you pull out a sword. You can also parry projectiles, which is way ahead of its time. It was Japan only for decades, but finally came to the West on 3DS and Wii U. Yeah, to look at it, kind of looks like a Zelda.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit about this one, but yeah, it's always good when these games do finally come over, though.
Mm-hmm. All right, Evo Janice says the Silver Surfer, pretty hard to shoot 'em up. But while the game is fine enough, the reason to play this random licensed game is one of the best NES songs ever made. He has a link to it.
Yeah,
we had this. This was at Grandma's house.
No, you're making shit up.
Yeah,
there's no way Grandma had the Silver Surfer. I would remember.
I mean, again, Grandma didn't buy these games. We just usually.
But they were. But they were there. No, I'd never played Silver Surfer as a kid. You're insane.
Okay, yeah, it was a horizontal shoot 'em up, and you could like change your direction. I remember.
Yeah,
this.
Yeah, you remember because you saw the Angry Video Game Nerd video about it a million times, like I did.
I'm almost positive we
false memories because of Angry Video Game Nerd. You just got Angry Video Game Nerded.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I think that's the reason I know about the game.
It is the first result when you Google the game.
Yeah, of course, it's like one of the first ones he did. It's like
I'm fairly certain we have this, but all right.
Okay.
Have it your way.
I think you're Angry Video Game Nerded.
Okay. Bench JC says Mario's missing, which is a Super Nintendo game. You get no points. Good day, sir.
No, AJ, there was an NES version of that.
Oh, then why did he put the box art for the Super Nintendo version?
Well, he probably just did a quick Google search. But yeah, it's weird because the NES version still uses the Super Mario World sprites for Mario, which is kind of bizarre to see. It's like when Mega Man and Bass used the Mega Man 8 sprites, but even though it was on the Super Famicom and not PlayStation, right? It was weird.
Oh wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Weird.
We had
it. Remember the PC version with voice acting.
Well, from what I recall even more specifically is that we did have the Super Nintendo version, and maybe our friend Jonathan had the PC version.
He might, I think it was a Jonathan's.
I remember because it was weird because it did have voice acting, and this was before, aside from the cartoon, it was weird to see Mario talking in a video game, and it was not Captain Lou Albano, and I did not like that. This was a very confusing game.
Cutscene, yeah.
Oh
yeah, this is when we tried to play as kids. We just didn't know what was going on.
I had no idea. Well, it's like because it's not really I guess it tried to teach you about history, but it's more like just reading comprehension, right? Somebody tells you one thing, then you go talk to somebody else, and they ask you if you remember the thing.
It was like Carmen Sandiego Light.
Can you go and play an old Carmen Sandiego game and have fun today? What's that like? Or is there like a new one that like I should play?
I don't know, but I mean, like speaking of our friend Jonathan, because quick tangent, because he had that on PC, and his dad was a book salesman for like schools and stuff, and he sold encyclopedias as part of his job. So he had like 3 different encyclopedias in the room where their computer was. So it was great. One of us would drive, the other one would be like doing research, going through the encyclopedia to find the answer to like where we were going in the world. So that's how old I am.
It sounds very wholesome. Now kids today with their TikToks and their
Wikipedias,
their Mr. Beasts. Yeah, what the heck?
But yeah, about Carmen Sandiego, I wonder if there's like a new one. I still there's never been as good of an Oregon Trail as the second edition of that.
Oh game. Yeah, because that was the one that had intense early CD-ROM era goodness to it, and I chase early CD-ROM aesthetics to this day.
It's a good aesthetic.
I don't know why.
Very good aesthetic.
I'm obsessed
like
with
that.
it.
Jones in the fast lane. Remember that?
No, AJ, nobody but me and you remembers Jones in the fast lane, which to be clear, everybody was an early CD-ROM PC game that was just like they kind
digital board game.
Yeah, it's like they combined the life with Monopoly, and there's just a lot of like bad animations and voice acting in it. Jones in the fast lane.
Amazing.
You're sick for remembering that. You sicko.
We played so much of it.
Just remember, you went to like because you could like get jobs at different places, like Life, and you could get a job at the fast food place, and the guy would be like, would you like some of our $1,000 dressing? I mean, secret sauce.
Secret sauce.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. How do I remember that? All right.
All right. Jat O'Lantern has says, "Hey, 90s Disney dudes, that's us.
Yes.
Have you talked about this one on the podcast? The Disney Adventures and the Magic Kingdom game for the NES. We have not. Would that come out in the 90s or was it late 80s?
I'll check because I feel like it probably came out like maybe not around, but like for an anniversary for Tokyo Disneyland, right? Because that's what that is actually based on, is Tokyo Disneyland. But that is a good game.
June 1st, 1990.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I sometimes, because ooh, would I ever speedrun a game? Sometimes I'm like, this would be kind of a funny one to speedrun.
Right.
Those who don't know, it's basically a collection of mini games. It's made by Capcom, so it's pretty good.
It's really good because like 2 of the levels based off Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion are just side scrollers. Then you had like this weird overhead slot car racing game for the Autopia.
Yeah, there was like a weird. The Space Mountain game was weird.
It was just like it was kind of like a Dragon's Quest or Dragon's Lair kind of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a Dragon's Lair thing,
basically.
Yeah,
and,
it's not like one of the better Capcom Disney games, but it was still pretty fun.
No, but it was fun because it was like in the Magic Kingdom. So yeah.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for these games that are just kind of like based on theme parks. I even still kind of like that somewhat awful GameCube Universal Studios game.
Well, you like it now because you can pay $50 for it.
That's another one too, where it's actually like based on the Universal Japan theme park. Yeah. All right, next.
All right, Lenny Cool Dick Denver says, already mentioned here, but I just got this from Limited Run on a whim, and I really liked it. It is Shadow of the Ninja, and a very cool teal blue cartridge.
Oh, Limited Run did one. That's nice. I think I just got a message from Limited Run. I don't even remember buying some. I think they did a Bill and Ted collection. I don't remember buying it, but apparently I did. It's coming. So, oh no.
Oh boy.
What am I going to put that?
Somewhere in the wall behind you, I guess. All right, let's see. Screaming Madden says, I booted up Solomon's Key on NSO because of this topic. That's a really neat puzzle game about building block platforms and getting keys to clear shrines.
Yeah, what do you think about these, like, the platformer puzzle games like that? There's one called Fire and Ice, I think, those kind of things. I don't know. For some reason, it's always a bit much for me. I'm not sure why.
I don't remember. I'm sure I played that one. I just don't remember.
Well, some of its key is on NSO, so you can try it out
right.
on there.
So I go to it.
Yeah, like I'd rather just play like a Tetris if I was going to do a puzzle game, which is a very different kind of puzzle game. We also never played like, because we love adventure games like the point and click kind from later, but there's some from the NES that are well regarded. Maniac Mansion is just on there, and that's LucasArts. But like that Nightshade, some people really like that. There's a couple other ones of that ilk that was completely outside of our childhood. Never even sniffed those.
Yep. Chaos Pumpkaboo says Tiny Toon Adventures is a platformer that works fine today. That's all I've got, Grandpa Mike. Yeah, it's hard. I know we played the NES one, but the Super Nintendo one, Buster Bust Loose, is so in the front of my mind. I have a hard time remembering the specifics of the NES and the Genesis ones, for that matter.
I remember because I played it not too long ago. When I hacked my NES Mini, I put it on. It's actually a lot like kind of plays a lot like a Mario 3, but you get to pick who you play as, and they all play a little bit differently. It's actually really fun. I did come across a boss I just actually couldn't beat for some reason and got frustrated, stopped. I think that was probably a me problem. No, it's a very good game. I don't think it's as good as Buster Bust Loose. I love Buster Bust Loose.
That's a great game.
Fantastic.
All right, Rare Monkey says, surprised it hasn't been mentioned yet, but Gimmick is actually a fantastic platformer and might have the best music on the NES, partially because the Japanese release has a special version of the AY38910 sound chip. Seriously, nothing else sounds like it on the NES. Truly amazing how good this soundtrack was. I'm curious to hear this now.
Yeah, it's Sunsoft, so it's an incredible soundtrack. This was one of the big. I can't believe that game never got released in the US. It is coming officially pretty soon though, or maybe it's already out. Actually, yeah, I think it is already out. You can just buy Gimmick Special Edition now for
cool.
the NES. And it still it still has like the NES graphics and everything like that. Now it's a bummer you have to do that instead of just having it on NSO. But hey, at least you get to play Gimmick
what are you
now.
gonna do?
Yep.
Pablo Cost says the right answer is of course Crystalis. I never played Crystalis.
It's like the best NES like, which means it's still not, or best Zelda like, which means it's still not nearly as good as Zelda. Right. It has its fans like that and like Fox Xanadu, that weird Willow game that's actually, I think it was Capcom, and it's a lot like NES, but has too much tile animation. You ever see Willow in motion? Like they're making the grass sway, and it's kind of nauseating how much everything's moving.
Not enough resolution for that.
Yeah.
All right. Always Be Clothing /Corgi says sometimes some gems go slipping through the cracks. Shout out to the 90s Disney podcast. He's talking, of course, about Chippendale Rescue Rangers, which that was such a big game for us. I can't call it a hidden gem because it was just there all the time.
Well, we were already pretty Disney coded, and I loved the Rescue Rangers especially. And it was a co-op game, so we could play together. It was funny because as kids, it was pretty hard for us to get too far in that game. But when that was one of those things where playing it again with the Disney Afternoon Collection is like, oh, I could beat this game pretty easily now.
We beat it at least once because I remember the Fat Cat fights. So I know we did beat it.
Yeah, but it's hard to know if we Game Genied it or not, right?
Yeah, that's true. That is possible.
There's a lot of games we saw endings to, but did we get there? Did we earn that, or did we just Game Genie it?
Who's really keeping track?
Exactly.
Crouching Kringle, Hidden Krampus says the NES was a licensing goldmine, and MC Kids was my go-to game. The music still blares in my head to this day. I'm sure I played this, but I can't picture it in my head what the actual game was. It's
very much a Mario like, but a pretty good one actually. Again,
Can I tell you about what I told my kids about the Ronald McDonald game that Treasure made for the Genesis?
Yeah, that game rules. What about it?
So I explained it to them, and they literally thought I was lying. They didn't believe me.
Oh,
I was like, no, it was real, and it was actually a really good video game. I'm like, Dad, you're making this up. So I go on YouTube and I pull up this game, and they thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen in their lives. I've never made them laugh so much in my life as just showing them this YouTube video.
I mean,
they couldn't get over it.
I think it's just so probably funny to them to see somebody bother making a good McDonald's game, right? When they think of licensed trash on their phones, it's like, why isn't this a match 3 puzzle game?
Well, it's not like the kids these days really know who Birdie and until the shake happened.
Some of them are. I actually heard a car commercial on the fucking radio with the Hamburglar in it, so that was surprising. But yeah, Ronald McDonald was everywhere in the 90s. Then suddenly you're like, actually, never mind. That's creepy. Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Right. All right. Up the Pompeii shares my actual answers. This is the one I would have said if he hadn't said it, or she. Little Nemo, the Dream Master. Let's effing go. This game ruled.
This was another Capcom joint. It kind of suffered because it was based off of a animated movie that was a bit of a flop. You know, it has some pretty good animation. If you ever actually watched that Captain Nemo, it's interesting. The movie itself based off of like a turn of the century, like 1900 comic strip, like a pretty early comic strip. But good game, very good game, fun stuff. It has some Kirby, like pre-Kirby turning into a bunch of
you would
form
like throw
stuff.
candy to a bunch of animals. You either ride them or wear them as suits.
Yeah, it was a fun game. So it's not Ghibli, Mikey. It's not Ghibli, or it might be Ghibli adjacent. But it's not straight up Studio Ghibli. At least I'm pretty sure.
Look at this box art, Mike. Free Mega Man sticker with purchase.
Oh yeah, let's go.
There you go.
Wait, is that where my Mega Man sticker came from? You think? Because remember, that's one of my earliest memories. AJ,
wow,
is that Mega Man sticker that I got as a kid, and I was so excited because back then there was no like video game merch or like accessories. Yeah. So the fact there's a Mega Man sticker, but I was a stupid child, so like I put it on somewhere. I was like, that's not a good place for it. Took it off and put it somewhere else. I'm like, that's not a good place. And of course, it just lost its stick, so that it was just ruined. And I was so upset that I still remember to this day. So when I got these Mega Man stickers finally that came Mega Man 11, I was quite relieved. Okay, if it is, I'm pretty sure it would be a red Mega Man in like the Rush Jet or something like that. Rush was involved, I believe, in the sticker. So I'm gonna see if I'm gonna track down this sticker.
The sticker that came with Little Nemo.
It would make sense if we had this game. Holy fucking shit!
Yeah, that's wild. Wow.
Okay,
see if you can find it while I read this next one.
Mega Man sticker. If I could find one of these stickers, I swear to God.
All right, Eric Open World says Guerrilla War, run and gun game. In the Japanese version, the main characters are Che Guevara and Fidel Castro as you raid an unnamed Caribbean island to free it from a dictator. Played a million hours of this game with my grandparents with my cousins. Oh, that's an interesting twist on history.
Oh my God, it's the fucking sticker. So it's red because he's on the item number 2. It's a Mega Man 2 sticker. That's why I got conflated with Rush. Oh my God, it's the fucking sticker.
Is that it? Wow, that's amazing.
Now, although there's another one, that's him with the crash arm, shooting out the crash arm, so also red. I don't know where that one came from, but I definitely had the item number 2 sticker, I believe. Okay.
That's so wild.
That's insane.
All right. Big Tony says, my dogs. I hope you guys had a chance to get the original Fire Emblem when it was on the eShop. I did. I haven't even played it, but the Nintendo's damn FOMO marketing strategy worked. I was like, well, I better buy this just in case.
Yeah, I think I actually got a code for it at least. I mean, I'm not really interested. Like, if I'm going to play an old Fire Emblem, I would like do a fan translation of one of the 16-bit ones, or probably that Game Boy Advance one that we didn't get that actually has Roy in it. I'd play that. Or honestly, I never actually got to beat the Game Boy Advance ones. I got pretty far in both of them, so I would just go back to those. But I don't know how much I really want to play 8-bit Fire Emblem. Damn it, do I have to buy a complete in box Little Nemo now so I can get this fucking sticker?
Yes, you can get that sticker. All right. Ali Miracle says, I had a friend who had a Game Genie. It was cheating in Kirby's Adventure. This was when the N64 was out, I think 98. I told his mom, being a hardcore Christian, couldn't condone that sin, and then gave it to me. Am I an asshole?
Oh my God, wait, what game was it?
Parenthesis, Kirby's Adventure. Then she says, I didn't even own an NES. I had a PlayStation N64 at the time, LMAO. I don't know. You wanted a Kirby cartridge. Now it's yours forever. I hope you still have it.
Hey, that's a good game. I freaking love that game.
Yeah, that was a great game.
I can't believe I know where this sticker come from. I'm sorry, but this is just the sticker.
Yeah, right? We just uncovered some deep
This is like one of my earliest memories is this fucking sticker. I'm shook. I'm freaking shook. You can continue now.
JD Camp is sharing one I've never, ever heard of. Gotta Protectors, Amazon's running diet.
What?
The cover of this game is some cheeky little Amazon chick in a pink bikini, and she's running but not happy about it.
Oh, no.
This is where I come in. This is one of those instances of a company making a new thing as a promotional sort of marketing thing. This was to promote a 3DS game. And
okay, so this isn't a game of its time.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's
sorry,
a 3DS. There's a 3DS game called God of Protectors, and like to market it because it has like an old school pixel art aesthetic. They made this game that is an actual NES game you can download from their website as a marketing.
Oh,
campaign.
okay.
But like it even got like a limited run physical edition and everything. So like, they cleaned up a little bit, but it's sort of an interesting story behind that one. That's why you've probably never heard of it.
Okay. Sorry, I just clicked the link that Mike shared in the chat of this sticker, and yeah, I instantly remember it.
Right?
Wow.
Is that insane?
Wow.
Now, complete in box Little Nemo the Dream Master, it says it's just $68. Now, when it says complete, I wonder how complete that is.
How complete are we talking?
Yeah,
do I get my sticker?
I want my fucking sticker.
All right, our final submission from Vision 49. I am one of the Game Mess children, born in 1999. So even though I love old games, something that seems like a hidden gem to me may have been big at the time, and I just don't realize. But I want to shout out Metal Storm, a 1991 action platformer where you play as a mech that can switch gravity. It's like the Gravity Man stage in Mega Man 5, but you can switch it at will. That sounds good.
This totally counts. This is one that I've been seeing a lot of videos of as I kind of watch a lot of YouTube videos that I never knew about, and every time I see it, I'm like, this looks awesome, and everybody, like, this is a game that comes up a lot if you look like YouTube videos of NES hidden gems. This absolutely counts. It's actually probably one of the better answers. I definitely really want to play Metal Storm. Again, why isn't Metal Storm on the NSO? For crying out loud. That'd be amazing. Like, how hard can it be to get Metal Storm in the NSO? Who has the rights for that? How much money do they want? Give me a break.
Let's see. Did we have any more super chats come in while we were doing that?
Yeah, I think we've got a few more here. T Bucket 23 asks, "What does AJ think of Elephant Daisy?" What do you think of Elephant Daisy?
Fine.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Doesn't yank my crank if that's what you're asking. I'm not a sicko like that one.
Doesn't water your trunk.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Look.
What the hell?
It's good.
I'm telling Mom.
That's funny. Oh, did you hear that? Our stepmom randomly watched a clip of me on Giant Bomb, and of course it was when I was pretending to be a bank robber and telling civilians to get the fuck down or I was gonna fucking shoot them and stuff like that. She was kind of like weirded out. I was like, that's not normally what I do. It was a bit. It's okay. It was a bit,
I swear.
Oh,
I'm not really a homicidal maniac.
No. Beat Traven says, "Hey, 90s Disney boys. If you consider doing a pod just about theme parks, tips, interesting experience, history, whatever, you're very knowledgeable." Nah, no one would listen to that, Traven. But thanks.
Idea.
Thanks.
I don't think we know enough about that topic.
Nintendo says, "This episode has just made me wish Nintendo would figure out how to get more licensed games on NSO. For the NES, SNES, Game Boy, Genesis, it would be great." Yeah, like...
Guys, I have a secret for you.
Yeah, I know, and I don't know why it is better when it's on NSO. I don't know why.
I know what you mean. I do know
but
what you mean.
It is. It just is. I mean, it was cool so when Sega made the Genesis Mini, they did just get Castle of Illusion on there, right? Like, it can be done. There's no law against it. You can just make these deals. So I guess I just wish the deals would happen more. I don't know the specifics of it. I'm sure it's difficult, and just making it a little bit more of a pain hurts. But especially, like, yeah, NES and Genesis are two good examples where there are so many good licensed games for the systems and not having them. I mean, we talked about Buster Bust Loose. If we could have that on the SNES,
that'd be amazing.
You know, instead of like a fifth Caveman game that nobody remembers, that'd be fantastic. Or God, like those Flintstone games from the NES. Like, look, people make fun of me when I even say the word Flintstone. That IP can't be very valuable right now. Just put them on NSO. Oh, well. Hey, John, we take one more break. We'll get back. Okay. We'll talk about what we've been playing. How's that sound to you?
Sounds good.
Good shit.
Alrighty. I could just continue to go.
So it's Che Guevara. Why are you all Americans mispronounced that last name? It's crazy.
I didn't realize that's what it's gonna say because it was so outlandish that I wasn't prepared.
Oh, I'm gonna get a drink. Actually, you can
also tell more. That's true to life. Goddamn it! They did fought together against a dictatorship. Goddamn it!
Oh,
you
really?
Expect us to know that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was taught that they were bad guys in school.
All right.
They teach us about corn and shit, man. We don't learn about these important things.
Libertad o muerte.
All right, Mike's gone. What do y'all want to know?
Yeah. What other fruit other than the apple he despises?
How is it that you're like a fairly tall guy, but Mike is only 5'2"? I don't understand how it works out.
Listen, just to put this all to rest, I am 6 foot even. Mike is 5'11", and Chris is 6'1". We're all right in the wheelhouse with each other.
That doesn't sound right.
I don't know. He seems pretty small.
Yeah, big
He seems like a
chihuahua
small
I mean,
man.
look, he has small guy energy. I get it.
energy.
I absolutely get it.
His lack of neck. He has no neck, so he looks short, but he's not short.
Damn.
I already told him that. I told him I
He
give
does
him more
slouch.
neck.
He's a sloucher. He's
He's a
slouchy.
slouch and he puts his camera too high.
Yeah.
Michael O'Leary, Mike's hot and I'm normal because I was here first and I had to deal with all their shit, and then he just got to kind of slide by. He has, believe me, he has very strong middle child energy.
Man, when they were talking on the Bombcast earlier today, like trying to like figure out why is Mike the way he is, I'm like, because he's the middle child. That's
Yeah, right.
fucking
It's
why.
a simple answer. It really is. Am I gonna force Mike on Tron? I'm not gonna force him. I learned my lesson. Actually, oh god, where's my phone? Chris, our brother, found the picture of the one and only time that Mike did ride Splash Mountain, which he was coerced to do, and it's a very funny picture. Let me find it.
Let's see this.
Okay, here it is. Let me save it, and then I will get on YouTube. Or no, I'll get on Discord and post it there.
Mike Minotti, Mike Minotti.
Oh, you asshole! No, you can't bring that back. I was just starting to get rid of it.
There you go.
Stuck in my head for like 2 weeks now.
Oh, yeah, okay, let's get back. I got a good chat here. You ready, Jay?
I'm,
give me one sec.
Wait a second.
Oh, what are you looking up?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, great. Christ.
Don't you
That's for
worry
the
about
podcast producers.
Fantastic.
it. Okay.
EP Idiot Box.
No,
Honestly,
wait,
Mike's
we're
not
back.
happy,
Wait,
I'm actually okay.
All right.
Oh, sorry, we're having off. All
right. I was going to say for the show, but it's all right. We all ready to go back? We're good?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We're ready.
Okay,
Let's go.
here we go. And we're back. By the way, AJ, before starting the show, I actually just finished Act 2 of Baldur's Gate 3, which I know is not a Nintendo game, but it's pretty good. I quite like
you.
Baldur's
You
Gate
passed
3.
me up. I'm in Act 2.
You're in Act 2? Oh, okay, I didn't even know you were that far. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was yeah.
It's a good game. It turns out.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I forget, what kind of character did you make?
A bard.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm very pleased with that choice.
Yeah.
So I've got my bard. I've got Gale, Will, and Karlak with me, and I'm having a great time.
So I turned Shadowheart into a bard, and I'm surprised how spellcasty bards are in D&D. They got yeah, she does a lot of magic.
I treat my bard as a kind of off healer and like a buffer debuffer.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that very much.
Basically, very versatile. My bard, so it's pretty nice. And like I got I think it was a level 4 spell, basically a teleport spell that she could do with one other person. And it came very much in handy in the Act 2 boss fight, so I was very excited about that.
I don't think I have that one. Interesting.
Right. Yeah, like I said, well, it's a level 4 one, so you have to be like level 8 to unlock it or something like that. So you probably don't have it yet. Anywho, Nintendo games. AJ, what Nintendo games have you been playing lately?
So this is Nintendo adjacent because it is on the Switch. That's where you're playing it. But I've been playing Sea of Stars and really, really enjoying that game.
Yeah, I finished this game. I beat it, and then I was kind of told to get the true ending. It takes a little bit of work, but it really is worth getting. In fact, the normal ending is. At first, I was like, I don't know if I really need to get the true ending, but the normal ending did kind of feel unsatisfying to a degree that I could tell, like, okay, they're holding shit back for the true ending, so gotta get the true ending. So, like, it was a little annoying, but the true ending was good. It was for the most part. So yeah, it was fine. But I liked that game a lot.
Yeah. So I'm really enjoying just kind of the throwback graphics, but like it does really interesting stuff with the lighting, which is kind of surprising.
Damn it, that's what your show. Wait a second, that's what your game for them was be terrified on Splash Mountain? Oh no, they can't see this. No, oh no. How dare you share that? Oh god damn it. Oh, okay, so yeah, all right. So what they did, audio listener, AJ found the. So Splash
Chris
Mountain.
found it. I don't know
Yeah.
where you got that from.
So as much as I love Disney World, I'm a coward with a lot of rides. I would never do Splash Mountain. Till one time, my dad said we wouldn't go to Disney World unless I did do it. So I had to.
Yeah,
so
you had to do all 3 mountains.
yeah, so I went on Splash Mountain, and Splash Mountain takes your picture whether you want to or not. And I do not look happy in this picture. I look terrified. Come on, you told me you don't feel bad for that kid. Look how miserable he is. Oh my god, I did not like it. I don't like it. Oh, there you can see just a bit of Chris with his spiky
Yeah, we all had our frosted tips. back
frosted
on
tips
that.
there, man.
I did
Incredible.
too.
Don't worry about it, Jeff. Jeff, don't know. I can't. Jeff cannot have access to this picture. You can't do that to me.
Oh, it's too late.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
only
late.
time now. This is like you can't put the toothpaste back
This
in the
is
tube, brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Honestly, the only thing I feel bad about this picture is that I blocked that kid's face and like probably ruined his photo.
Oh no! I wish someone
is
would
what it
ruin
is.
mine. AJ,
Anyway, like I was
Stars.
saying, I like how Sea of Stars makes the like time of day a mechanic.
Yeah, for
and,
some puzzle solving and whatnot.
Yeah, and it just looks good. But like, it's just refreshing to play a JRPG that like is paced correctly.
Yeah, and
like a platform moves. I don't have to sit there staring at it. I can continue going about my business while the platform moves into place.
Right.
Stuff like that is
And
just.
I do
nice.
kind of have to, like, it's like Dan and a lot of people, I think, the beginning does have a part where it is just a lot of story all at once, and that's not that atypical
It's
for a
still a
JRPG, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to encourage people, like, look, if that's throwing you off a bit, try to get through that, because otherwise, this is pretty fast-paced for a JRPG. It's a lot of combat, the story stuff is pretty snappy, even the puzzles, like, they're fun puzzles, they aren't overbearing puzzles, and that's something that I think like indie games especially can do sometimes. They can kind of get a little too clever with their puzzles for their own good. But no,
Yeah, they feel appropriate and of their time in a way.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
but just a
So, yeah.
gorgeous game. I never got tired of looking at Sea of Stars. Just incredible, incredible pixel art. Did you play The Messenger, by the way? Because I was a big fan
Yes,
of
I
Messenger.
didn't finish it, but I did play a good chunk of it, and it's hard to believe it's that studio. Like it's quite the leap to go from we made this platformer, now we're gonna make a spiritual successor in a way to Chrono Trigger. Oh,
Right,
okay.
right. Same universe,
And they
did you know?
kind of pulled it off.
You know, Sea of Stars.
Really?
Sea of Stars is a prequel, actually. Like, it's very distant. Well, you wouldn't know because
Wow.
in very subtle ways, you can kind of see the connections if you look harder. But in neat ways, the tone is very different in Sea of Stars. Messenger was very much like at that time, everybody's got jokes and it's all irreverent. It's very, very Deadpool coded, I would say. If
Sea
you
of
would.
Stars is very sincere. and I
Sea
like
of
that
Stars
about
is
it.
incredibly sincere. There are very few jokes, and I kind of like that. You know, like don't try to be funny all the time. It's okay.
Right.
You know. Noah says you have to be a comedian to be a game developer. It's okay.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I've also since I've last spoke to the audience, I could talk to this, but I've been slowly picking away at Disney Illusion Island with the kids. And I've only played it with them. I need to just sit down and play it by myself a little bit because it can be a little chaotic playing with 2 8-year-olds and a 5-year-old. But fortunately, and it kind of surprises me, they have very little ego about just using my ropes to get up somewhere if they're stuck.
Oh, that's good.
I thought they would be like, no, I could do it myself, and that really doesn't happen. The only thing is Liv is the one who, if she's waiting for everyone, she's like, come on, guys, hurry up. Oh my gosh. But then she like misses a jump. Guys, wait for me. I need to make this jump. I'm like, Liv, you're that kid.
There you
You're
go.
that kid. But boy, that game's fun. What a cool. It's great for kids because it's a kind of like a nice introduction to the concept of a Metroidvania. There's no combat. It's very colorful, fun, looks good. Yeah, it's a good time. I like that game a lot.
Yeah, I need to play more of it, actually. I played most of it in the previous cycle and then just never had a chance because it's been this year. But I did really like it, and I think a lot of people kind of slept on it. I think it's going to be one of there's quite a few games just from this year that are flying under the radar.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to happen, but there's some that I feel like are definitely, they're going to be futurely hidden gems. Disney Illusion Island's one. I think that the Crew Motorfest actually kind of rules, and I think I'm going to die on that hill for the rest of my life.
I at some point intend to just do like a short-term subscription to Ubisoft Plus so I could try the new Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
and then I just have access to Avatar when that comes out. So I'll definitely check out.
Check it out. I think it's
the crew
fun.
at that point. Probably actually this weekend I might have some time coming up. So
I thought that the System Shock remake was actually really good, and that didn't get a whole lot of love. So, this is going to be a year we're going to be talking about in retrospect for a long time to come, I'm sure.
Yeah, this year is just insane. Mike, I still haven't played F-Zero 99. I keep telling myself I need to sit down and do it, and I just keep not making the time for it.
I haven't played.
I want to.
I haven't played again since the new tracks came out. Part of the problem is I try not to play it in I like to play my Switch in bed a lot. But I don't want to play something like it's kind of high strung like that.
Yeah, right. It gets you on edge.
Right. But man, whenever I play that game, it's super fun. I actually did go back into NSO to play the original F-Zero because I was curious, like, well, how does this compare? Am I going to be better at F-Zero now? And I was a bit. In original F-Zero, if you touch another car, it's kind of disastrous. Like in 99, it's like a mechanic. You're supposed to. It's just kind of this little bump. Like the camera turns if you touch another car, you get real disoriented. So it's pretty hard still, just original F-Zero, but fun. But yeah, 99, gosh, it's a good time. That's that's like kind of like one of my favorite Switch games this year, for sure.
Right. Then this counts as on the Switch. Mike, are we going to get into that Fortnite and do the Jack Skellington squad?
Man, maybe it's weird. Well, we got that.
Right, that's tempting.
That and Alan Wake and some Michael Myers, some horror character I don't care about, but Alan Wake and Jack Skellington. That's good. Jack Skellington has to be the most. Well, this is just a character from a kids thing character we've had here.
Who has a gun now?
Yeah.
Again, I'll go on a little mini rant. Like all these games of service that think they're going to be Fortnite. Like, sorry, you can't make a game where I could have Jack Skellington gliding in on an X-wing, riding a warthog, and swinging Geralt's sword. Like, it just you don't have the capability to do that in your game, and you're not going to be Fortnite.
Anything else from you, AJ?
That's it for me as far as Nintendo games go. Unless you want me to talk about Forza or something, but that's about it.
I kind of do because we could take a little tangent there because I played some Forza Motorsport. We're too cowardly to use a number. And I enjoyed it. It is Forza, and there's nothing wrong with that, and it's very pretty. My real only issue, even though it does kind of like affect me a lot personally, I think that the presentation in the UI is Spartan to a fault. It's very effective because of that, but there's no flavor. I'm the Ridge Racer Type 4 guy, and like half of the charm of that game is just the presentation in UI having a very specific aesthetic and just being very stylized. And this game is much more just like you push start and here's like the boxes with the words in it, and you can navigate your stuff like that. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's no fun allowed, but even Gran Turismo 7 has a bit more of a distinct feel to it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Motorsport's goal is to get you into races, and it does that very well. Because you have Horizon, which is like the play around and drive around, talk to these people, and get to a race eventually.
You're on social media!
Yes. So I appreciate that. It is just like, do some practice laps, now do a race. Now do some practice laps, now do a race. Upgrade your car, do some practice laps, do a race. And it is very nice, pretty. So yeah, like it's weird. Like I've tried the Gran Turismo games throughout the years, and I could never get into them to the point where I'm enjoying them. They always feel slow to me. I don't get a good sense of like how fast I'm going on the track to hit the brakes properly. But Forza, when I played 5 with the launch of the Xbox One, it just clicked with me, and I've been playing them ever since. And also, it is one of the games that actually uses these impact triggers, like to the point where I can race by feel, and I just really like it. I just enjoy the games. They're very calming, relaxing to me. I could get in a good race, get some cars I like, and just go.
No, it's definitely a well-made game. It definitely feels really good. I wish there was, and I get what they're going for with the presentation. I wish there was just a little bit more pizzazz to it, just a little bit something aside from just racing, like in a very distilled, pure form. So I, after beating Sea of Stars, wanting to play something sort of shorter before we got to Mario and then Mario RPG, realized that everybody was talking about that Cocoon game, and that's on Switch, and that's not supposed to be really long. So I was playing Cocoon, and that is a very pleasant game. It is basically just this top-down puzzle game where you only have one button. Aside from moving around, you have one button, and it's your interact button. And the basic gimmick is that it's almost like an escort mission. Sounds wrong. It's almost like a escort mission in the way the companion cube stuff in Portal was an escort mission, right? Like you have this thing, you have like an object, you're kind of trying to keep it around with you, but there's multiple of them, and each of them have their own power. But aside from like being orbs, and they're also kind of batteries to activate things, they're also portals. If you put them on certain pedestals, you teleport into them, and you can take another ball with you sometimes. So that's kind of where the trickery comes. And it almost sounds a little bit more confusing than it really is. It all comes together really nice. Again, the puzzles are good. They're never overbearing, which can sometimes feel bad. It can feel rough. If you ever played Crosscode, that was a game where eventually the puzzles just got the better of me. I was at a point, it's like my brain, I was like 30 hours in. And normally if I'm that deep into a game, I'm gonna see the end, and I was just like, I'm done. I got nothing left to give you, Crosscode. You're good.
I think I've heard like it takes 4 hours to play.
Yeah, so that's like perfect.
Like
I'm probably like
it's on PC Game Pass. I downloaded it, so I'll get to it eventually here too.
Yeah, it's nice on Switch. It's very vibrant. It sounds good. There's a little I don't want to say stuttering, but like sometimes it gets like a smidge sluggish here and there. A little jitter is a go, especially with the scrolling is when you notice it, but nothing bad. Mostly still a very good looking game. You know, like I think a lot of indie games have maybe kind of fallen by the wayside this year. But I am glad sort of later in the year we have had Sea of Stars and now this. I'm sure I'm going to get yelled at and told that they're not actually indie games. I don't know
like
anymore.
Dave the Diver.
Yeah. But, you know, these smaller games, they are popping off in a nice way. So yeah, Cocoon, lots of fun. Again, if you're looking for something to sort of play in between some of these bigger releases, because that can get a little exhausting. But man, I am pretty ready for Mario. I cannot wait to get my hands on one.
We got Sonic in a week, and then Mario 3 days after that, along with Spidey. I'm super pumped for Spidey now, actually, because my kids got into playing more Miles Morales on the PS4, and I was helping Walter kind of play through some levels. Like, man, I'm actually kind of ready for this Spider-Man game now, and I didn't realize it.
Yeah, no, I always kept saying, like, for some reason I wasn't excited for Spider-Man 2, but I'm sure, like, I like Spider-Man. Those games have been good. So, yeah, gosh, it's going to be busy with those, and then Alan Wake 2, and it's like, what else can I reasonably beat besides for these new releases? Baldur's Gate 3, I'm making very good progress on. That's going to happen. I definitely need to go beat Final Fantasy 16. I'm never going to hear the end of it. And I want to. My problem is just, I am bad about living room gaming right now. So either I just got to go do it, or I got to commit to just bringing the PlayStation 5 into my office. I might have to do that.
I sent you that Kickstarter from Genki, the company who makes some stuff I have. They're doing a new USB capture card that can do 4K 60 with pass-through, HDR, everything. So
okay,
you should get that, and you can just hook up your PS5 in your office, and it'll work good.
I have to look into that. All right, I think we got at least one more super chat here before we are done. Yes, from El Grug. It says, not sure if I missed it, but you guys ever finished the rest of that Monkey Island stuff in Sea of Thieves?
No, we haven't started it.
Well,
I played the first chapter.
I played the first chapter a couple times, but what I want to do is I want me, you, and Chris to at some point get on stream and just play through the whole thing. Maybe like really set a day aside for it and make a good stream out of that. I think that'd be fun. It is really neat that they did that, and what I played was fantastic. I want to play
real bad.
I
like you. So you saw they added a mode to that game now where you can play like a private instance. There won't be other pirates. Roaming the seas.
That's it. Yeah. Nice. I wonder how much more gas is in the Sea of Thieves tank after this. Like this was one of the last big pirate things.
What else? I'm trying to think like if there's anything licensed they could do, but I mean,
not that you need licensed stuff. Along. Yeah, but I guess I'm always a little skeptical. Like, really, like of course,
people are the best video game water, man. That water's insane.
You're right. No, it is in fact very good. But man, otherwise, I think that just about does it. I think we have successfully Nintendogged.
We did it, everybody.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you, AJ, for joining me. That was a good time. I'm gonna start playing the outro. You're not gonna hear it, but I am. So I'll start screaming when it gets loud. Don't worry about it. AJ, is there anything you want to plug while you're here?
Yeah, you should check out 90s Disney, our 90s Disney podcast. We just put out our latest episode on Journey into Your Imagination, which may be one of the worst rides Disney has ever made. So you should really listen to that episode, let me tell you, because it's bookended by a great ride and an okay ride, and we talk about those as well. Other than that, just keep doing the game mess stuff, because I pop up at, you never know. I'm gonna just show up on these shows.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna be gone for a while in the beginning of November.
Oh, that's right. You're
so he
cruising.
might. Yeah, so Jeff might be. Yeah, it's funny you say that while freaking cruising's playing. So Jeff might be calling on you, Sean, maybe some other friends. I don't know. Hey, tomorrow, Be Light Club, I'm gonna play that RoboCop demo. So that's 2:30.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I wonder when you were gonna get
Eastern.
to that.
Yep. All right, thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye. I don't know if that was in time or not.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. When do we play the sounds?
I guess not.
What is this, Jeff? What is this, Jeff?
Mike, tell me when the song ends.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I fucking lost.
I didn't know little emojis popped up when you guys did those.
Jeff Grubb is dead.
Super Mario RPG.